video, we got started on a Sass file and we started learning about nesting, but there's still more to do. So let's go ahead and take this concept a step further. We'll move down to the next section here and we'll go ahead and fix this comment. And once again, we need to go ahead and remove all of the curly braces and semicolons. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and nest these headline tags or headline selectors inside of the header ID. So here we've indented this H1 and the H2 to the same depth as the properties that are below the ID selector of header up at the top. Again, that means that header will be selected first, and then these headline tags will be selected next. Now, you can actually go even deeper than one level with nesting. So let's go ahead and try that out in this next section here. So once again, we'll fix this comment, and we just need to remove all of these curly braces and semicolons. So we'll just do that real quick here. And it looks like there's a few more here. There we go. So next we'll go ahead and fix post here, and we'll nest that in one level just like that. And we've selected post again here, so we can go ahead and indent that twice just like that. Now here we first select the content ID, and then one more level in, we select the post class, and then in the next level, we go ahead and select the H3. Finally, you'll notice that we've gone all the way back to the first level again with no indentation, and we've selected this pick class because that has nothing to do with the content up here. Now remember, in situations like this, indentation is very important. So be sure to watch your indentation very carefully. Now we're going to go ahead and try just one more example of nesting so that I can show you something else. So we'll go ahead and correct our comment here to make it a proper Sass comment. And then we just need to delete all of these semicolons and curly braces. So we'll go ahead and do that here. And that looks like all of them. And now we'll go ahead and nest this H3 just like normal, and we'll nest this section here just like we've been doing in the previous examples. And then finally, we're going to nest this first child inside of section, and I'm going to put an ampersand right here. So again, you can see all of the normal stuff here that we did in the previous examples, but there's a new syntax concept here. This first child pseudo class should be right up against this section class without any spaces. Now Sass doesn't know that, so we need to tell it that explicitly. The way you do that is by prepending an ampersand to the selector that you want to be directly against the prior selector. So now we're ready to turn this Sass file into a CSS file. First, we should go ahead and rename our original CSS file so that it doesn't get overwritten. So I'll just go ahead and do that slightly off screen here. So now I've renamed it to style2.css. And we're going to go ahead and switch over to our terminal. And in my terminal, I've navigated to the directory where this CSS file is stored. And I'm just going to go ahead and type sass watch style.sass, and we're going to put that into the file called style.css, which at this point doesn't actually exist because we've renamed style.css to style2.css. So we'll just go ahead and hit enter here. And actually, this is another great thing about Sass. We have an error here because it looks like I've missed a semicolon. When your Sass style sheet isn't formed properly, Sass will go ahead and tell you so that you can go ahead and fix the problem. So we'll go ahead and switch back and it looks like the semicolon is right there. So we'll just go ahead and save that out. And when I switch back, it's gone ahead and detected the change to our Sass style sheet, and it's overwritten style.css. So every time you go ahead and save your Sass file, Sass will go ahead and try to recompile it into CSS. So let's go ahead and switch over to our browser and refresh the page. And as you can see, it looks exactly the same. That's because our Sass style sheet has compiled into CSS that is functionally equivalent to our previous CSS. So let's go ahead and switch over to our text editor so that we can go ahead and look at the style sheet that got generated. And as you can see, it actually looks a lot like our previous style sheet, but there are a few differences in the way that it's tabbed and the way that the curly braces are placed. This is all automatically done by Sass. And you can see that our comments are also intact here, which is pretty nice. So I'm just going to scroll back up to the top here. And one thing I'd like to note here is that you should never have to edit this CSS file. In fact, you shouldn't even open it. You should treat this file as a binary file, kind of like an image or a video or any other file that you would never open in a text editor. It's all valid CSS, but you should really not be editing your CSS files like this. You really should be doing all of your editing in your Sass files. That's it for nesting, but there's still a lot more to learn about Sass.